All right, we're rolling. Hey guys, Pat here. We're going to take a quick look today at Kicking Horse by crichter90. This was posted into the TGC Tours forums in the completed course threads, looking for feedback on the course. So I thought I'd give it a little playthrough today and kind of take a look and see, how things go. It was approved, but not marked tour worthy. So we'll see, what areas we can, kind of elevate our design to just bring it to the next level and ways that we can improve. So yeah, let's take a look at what we got going on here. Let's take a look at the plot real quick. So it looks like we've got, a parkland sort of vibe going on here, which is good. There's a little bit of off-course work done too with the the houses or manors going on around here. We've got a clubhouse area. So yeah, not a bad start. I do see some tournament objects too, but I only see them on that one hole. Oh, actually, that two? Yeah, we've got two holes with tournament objects, so we'll take a look at those as we get to them, but yeah, not a bad little start here. So first hole, first thing I'm noticing is the greens might be a little bit narrow, but that's, kind of personal preference onto how we're gonna, kind of play with that difficulty. Another thing I'm noticing is this front bunker here is not visible from the tee at all. One thing I would do to kind of help with that is you can see this left-hand side here is kind of sitting up a little bit. If you bring that left-hand side down a little bit and maybe even bring down this area in the front by, maybe just a couple feet, that'll help with your visibility off the tee, because we have a relatively flat shot here. In fact, it goes down about 6 feet, so we should have visibility of that. The other thing that could be affecting it is there might be a little bit of a hump here in the fairway as we we go out, so it might be just blocking the view of that bunker. So just be mindful of those things. It's always good to be able to kind of see what your hazards are off the tee. It doesn't mean that they have to be perfectly obvious. Even here, like we can see the one bunker, so we know there's something there, so it's not it's not the end of the world. But that's just kind of my first note for the tee shot here. I'm playing with no tempo, and I'm playing on pro difficulty, so things will be fairly easy for me as I drive the first ball into the rough. But so the width might not affect as much as I play through this, but the width again is a little bit narrow in areas. So let's take a look at this green site here. One thing I'm noticing just with the shapes too is think of how if you're going for a more realistic look, think of how the course would be mowed in real life. It seems like a silly thing to think of in a video game, but these types of lines here are really dramatic for a course that has no slopes or anything in there. If there was a bunker here or a dip or a ridge or something, it would make sense to mow around it, but since there isn't, it's likely that they would just mow straight through here if we drew a line right around here. Have a little bit of wave to it, because those kind of natural shapes look good, but having this dramatic piece that cuts in here doesn't really serve any purpose as far as like playability wise, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of it being there in the first place. So yeah, just something to consider. I am 200 yards out because of my terrible drive, so I don't really have a good shot at this. I'm going to try my best to kind of play right up in these bunkers, right up short of these bunkers here at the front of the green. Looks like we're going to be able to do that. Not bad, I'll take that. Bunker sculpting isn't perfect, but what I will say is that let me back up real quick here. I think the thing that's making them hard to sculpt is how close they are to the green and the fairway. If you create a band of rough that goes around your bunkers so they aren't sitting right up against the green, it makes it a lot easier to sculpt, and then you don't run into issues where you have right here where you have the greens just flowing right into the bunker. They kind of fall into the bunker, so you could be putting and actually putt into a bunker. So those might be some things to kind of avoid, like maybe a yard or two of rough around here. And you can do that if you haven't seen it before. You can spline your fairway and then paint the inside of the fairway with rough, or I'm sorry, with fairway, rather than just having the spline fill itself in. And that'll allow you to then use a brush to paint a bunker on the inside of it. There's tutorials on YouTube that show you how to do that as well. So be sure to check those out. Those will help you in that area. But I'm liking this green shape. I don't know, with the length of the hole, it was 441. It's a little bit long of a hole for this green shape. But that being said, I do really like this green shape for maybe a little bit shorter hole. So let's see if we can get... I'm going to try to chip here with maybe an 8-iron and play that little slope in the front of the green towards the pin. Just one hop on there and get up right next to the pin. Ooh, slow down a little bit. That's not terrible. I will happily take a par after that drive. Shouldn't have spoke too soon, but yeah, we got a par there. So let's move on to the second hole. We'll try to speed things up a little bit as we go along. There was a couple things we noticed there that I kind of wanted to address. So taking a look here, I noticed a lot of clumps of the same type of tree. If you're able to, try to mix up the type of tree that you use. If you used a brush to paint all these trees, you know, maybe thin out the trees that you use and use two different types of trees and paint the same brush over them twice. Or if you can, try to individually plant at least your trees. I think it really helps give the course a lot more of a natural look. As we go out here, I think this landing area this whole fairway actually, I think, is maybe just a touch too narrow. The difficulty in this game it varies. So if you play on like rookie difficulty or even pro and are having a really easy time getting around this course, then maybe consider dialing up the difficulty a little bit just to get a feel for what a lot of the people that play the game kind of go through when they play. Again, this landing area is very narrow, and I don't really have an area where I feel like I can comfortably lay up, especially on a par 5 where I probably don't really want to lay up. Another thing too, just I can barely make out the bunkers there. Maybe raising up the back sides of the bunkers a little bit to give them a little bit more visibility from the tee. Just a note there. So let's see. All right, we made the fairway. I made all those comments about how narrow the fairway is, and we made the fairway. So, but I'm not playing with tempo, so there's that. This green site is interesting. There is a strange ridge along the backside. I'm not really sure. It feels a little out of place because of the way that the land sits here, that it goes up and then comes back down. So I'd maybe try flattening that out a little bit to make it feel a little bit more natural, I guess, along there. Also, again, with the bunkers just feel like they're sitting like right in the fairway. If you give them a band of rough, they're going to serve the same purpose, whether they're right up against the fairway or a yard off. It's not going to make a huge difference in terms of them creating a hazard for the player. So let's see if we can get in here with... we're 10 feet uphill. We've got a huge tailwind. So let's see if we can get up here with a 6-iron. Again, it's an interesting green side. I like... Ooh, not quite enough. I like the way it sits up there, especially for a par 5. It makes it a little bit more challenging to be able to get up and make that green in 2. Which I think is good. And you're not really, like, challenging... You're not really protecting par on that. You're protecting a par 5, which is good. I like that. But yeah, not a bad little par 5 there. All right, island green. You love to see it. So sculpting again on the bunker. This is probably the last time I'm going to mention it, just because I see it again a little bit. You have the left side of the bunker raised up here, where I really don't think it needs to be. If anything, I would let that left side sit down a little bit, and then bring the bunker away from the green just a little bit and raise up the back side, just so it kind of tilts towards the player a little bit. Again, I can see the bunker from the tee, so it's not the end of the world here, but you know, I can just make it out there. But giving it just a little bit more visibility just kind of improves that visual, you know, note from the tee and everything like that. Yeah, I think again too, this little shelf that we have sitting on the left side of the green here, I don't know that it serves a whole lot of purpose. Maybe there's a pin up there. If there is, that's a really, really hard pin to get to, at least on, you know, some of the higher difficulties. So maybe consider kind of smoothing this out a little bit, or even dropping that down to the rest and just massaging more gentle slopes into the green. But we are 36 feet downhill, and we've got a monster headwind. Thinking we're just going to take a bunch off of a 4-iron with some backspin. See if we can get this on the green and hopefully close. I'll take it. One other note while I'm looking here. We haven't seen any tournament objects anywhere on the course yet, so these kind of come out of nowhere. It's a cool little amphitheater. I like the way that you've kind of done that with the water and then the whole crowd sitting around. It's got some, you know, 16 at TPC Scottsdale mixed with 17 at Sawgrass, obviously, going on here. But the note I wanted to make was just about the rocks. The rocks feel like it's just the same rock copy and pasted all the way around. If you're going for that manufactured look, I think it looks fine. If you want to go for a more natural look, I would mix up the rocks and not make them like a repetitive pattern around it. So that's just a thought there, depending on kind of what you're going for. I see that repeating itself around the course, so that might be kind of the look you're going for. And if so, I think, you know, it looks fine there. All right, I feel like I'm playing the first hole again. This tee shot feels almost identical, the way the bunker sits here, the way the fairway moves. So I'd be careful of kind of creating that same shot over and over again. Maybe incorporate slopes a little bit to create interest in a tee shot, but find ways to mix it up a little bit for the player. I'm gonna play this wind here, challenge that bunker on the left side, and we've got a good look into this green here, which isn't bad. So I think you're doing a lot of things good on this green site. I like the way that this bunker here kind of pulls up on the backside right here and creates a slope that slopes away from it. I think that's got a nice kind of natural look to it. The only thing is you can't see the bunker, you know, really well over here. Again, it's not a huge deal, but I would almost consider lowering this front part of the bunker here, and then maybe even raising this up in the back and kind of massaging it into even a slope here, because we have a slope that's running onto the green here. So having something that kind of comes up right there would make a lot of sense. I like that there's kind of a little shelf pocket here that you have to make sure you play over while you're playing into the green. The only note I have about the slopes on this green is in the back here, you have this big runoff into rough, and I would try to avoid runoffs just directly into rough. If at all possible, I would maybe even put fairway back there instead. It can even be just a little pocket of fairway that sits there, or just kind of try to massage that slope back up flat, or even pull in your green surface a little bit to help with that. But overall, not bad. If this is your first course too, I think you've got something good going here, and I like some of your ideas with the green sites. I think they look kind of nice. So yeah, let's take a look at the fifth hole here. So again, just a note, it's kind of hard to see the bunkers off the tee. I know I keep saying it, but You know, it brings a lot of comfort to know, you know, where your hazards are off the tee and stuff like that. If there weren't any hazards, I think it's okay to have a blind tee shot, if it still feels natural. But you know, if you've got a bunch of bunkers out there, I'd try to make them as visible as possible if you can. Ooh, we might find one here. Okay, close. Not bad. Okay. Again, the green site here, I like that we have a backstop here in the back. I like that we have these real gentle slopes here that kind of cascade down the green from left to right. It gives you some interesting pin positions to play with. The one note I have is just the green falling into the bunker here in the back and then here on the left. Again, moving the bunkers away from the green and then just kind of propping them up next to the green will help with that a little bit. And then I have one surfacing note here too, which is just that the fairway comes in and makes a 90-degree angle. That's just not natural because you wouldn't be able to mow a green like that. Again, we're talking about mowing patterns in a video game, but it just feels more natural and more realistic. If you have this green, this fairway here, maybe either gently, follow the green around, or even have it come out a ways from the green on this side. So just however way you would do it, but see if we can get a ball close here. Got a lot of wind again to worry about. See if we can stop a 7-iron. Ooh, it's didn't play enough wind there. But again, I like this because like this putt here, I think is it's a difficult putt, even though it was just a yellow slope that you had, through the green. It makes it a challenging putt. So here, I'm gonna have to 2-putt from back there for par. All right, lots of planting here. This planting here kind of came out of nowhere. I don't mind the look at all. It just feels like we haven't seen really anything like that on the course. So it kind of came out of nowhere. I don't hate it though. I think it's very interesting. Where are we playing to? Oh, we're playing off to the left here. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we want to be towards the left side of the fairway if we can. So these bunkers out here to the right, I feel like aren't doing a whole lot right now. Again, you can't really see them. And I feel like the place you want to be is towards the inside of the fairway here, so the bunkers don't really serve. I feel like a bunker should either be strategic or a visual to a hole. So in this case, strategy-wise, this is kind of the right-hand side of the fairway here is kind of the safe side of the fairway to play to. So I feel like maybe the bunkers shouldn't be there unless they were there for visual reasons, but we can't really see them from the tee. So I feel like if there's a way that you can incorporate a bunker into a hole, try to make it for either strategic or visual purposes, at least early on, until you kind of get a feel for what you want to do here. So this right here is really close to what I was talking about with the bunker sculpting. I like that you have the bunker propped up like that against the green. That just needs to be moved out from the green a little bit. So you can have the slope coming onto the green, but you can see, right here, there's kind of a crest and then it still falls into the bunker. So yeah, again, just moving the bunker just a little bit away from the green will help with that. So we're par 5. I like this. This is a tough green to get into. Oh, here you go. Okay, yeah. And again, here, this runoff here on the back, I think that's well done. The slight surfacing issues, with this not really kind of getting massaged into the edges of the green, but, those things will come over time. I like that you added a piece of fairway back here to catch balls that miss long when you have this kind of runoff. I think that's a subtle thing, but that's really well done. Again, this side over here, I'd avoid that running off into the bunker, but this right here all day long have runoffs, green runoffs into fairway by all means. I think that's a good thing. So let's see how close we can get to try to shoot up this gap here. Did we play enough wind? Oh, I think we played too much wind this time. We're going to catch that front bunker. Oh, not quite. All right. We have a lovely little pitch over a bunker here. Let's see if we can stop this thing. All right, I think that'll play. Perfect. All right, so we got ourselves a birdie putt. Not bad. Yeah, I didn't mind that par 5. I liked the way the bunkers squeezed to the front of the green and forced you to kind of really play up the throat into the green there. I think that's a fun idea. All right. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a blind par 5. I don't know if it's intentionally done, the elevation here, but we're going 10 feet uphill and I can't see the green at all. And I'm not quite sure what's causing that. It feels to me that it's because the green is sloping from the front all the way down to the back. This area up here is higher than the rest of the green, which makes it just blocks your view and you can't see the rest of the green. I think this type of green site's okay if you're playing it downhill, but for an uphill, it might be better to go back, you know, have a green slope from the back down to the front, and then kind of bring the land down in front of the green so you can see the green a little bit better. I don't think blind par 3s are a terrible idea inherently. This one just feels a little bit unintentionally blind. And then on top of that, you have all the bunkers here that you can't see either. If the bunkers weren't there, I think it'd be a little bit more forgiving. But I think the bunkers might be a bit much on this particular par 3. As I hit one into one, and we have like the fly cam and stuff like that in you know, the game. So we're talking about realistic things in a video game, but you know, I think we kind of strive for that element of realism, and the game's a little bit more of a sim than a video game. You know, it doesn't play like the Tiger Wood games of yesteryear. So, you know, just my thoughts, just my opinions. All right. So again, can't see the bunkers. I think this hole maybe doesn't need bunkers because it is a blind tee shot. I think that's probably my biggest advice is making those fairway hazards just a little bit more visible, and not quite tucked in against the playable surfaces. All right, so we're down 7 feet. Got a massive tailwind, so this ball's going to roll a lot. I like this green side, actually. Let me talk about that for a second. Everything here is moving from the right-hand side down to the left, and the green slopes follow that. And they do it in a very natural way where it feels like you kind of have some natural tiers to place pins, and then the only real runoff you have is right here in the front, and that runs off back into fairway. So really good job there. A couple small things here with the bunkers. The green flowing into bunkers, but those ones I can live with. I think that's that one's not bad at all, and I like that I can see the bunkers a little bit more. They do feel like they're a little over sculpted. Just along the back here, you've done the right thing. You've propped them up, and so now the next step to that is once you've propped them up, try to massage the hill behind the bunker up a little bit so it doesn't feel like there's just a mound behind the bunker. I think that's kind of the next step when it comes to learning how to sculpt bunkers and how to do surfacing and things like that. So awesome shot. I'll take that all day long. Let's see if we can get a bird. Ooh, oh, thought that was going to lip out. We'll take a birdie. Let's move on to 9. All right, we've got a nice little carryover water here. Okay, so things I want to point out here is this actually is framed really well. We haven't really talked about framing at all, but the way the trees kind of come up on the left and right hand side of the screen as you're standing up here gives you this kind of picture frame that you're looking through out at the course, and I think that's really nice. I also like the way that you've propped those bunkers up on the fairway, and I can see them really nicely, and I love that I can see a little bit of the water here. I think you've done a really good job of what we call framing the tee shot here. Really, really good job there. And then we get a nice view of this mansion, this manor house, whatever it's kind of intended to be. we get a nice look of that. Again, with the rocks, if you're going for that look, I think that they're fine. If you're going for a more natural look, I would try to rotate the rocks around or stack up, different rocks. But yeah, really good job here. And the bunkers, this is what I was talking about here, where you kind of massage the hill. This bunker feels like it's not forced up in the back or anything like that. I think it's got a nice look to it. So yeah, let's take a stab at this. I'm gonna try to bite off a lot of this if I can, and hopefully this will kick right. Oh, well, we're not in the best position here. This is a terrible lie. All right, so we've got a couple of very distinct tiers, which I don't think is a bad thing. Be mindful when you do tiers like this to make sure that if a ball lands up here to the left, that you can putt down to this pin without it rolling off the green. I'd be a little nervous that this one might not be able to, but we shall see, because I'm going to have a hell of a shot off here, so it's very possible I could end up there. Let's see how close we can get. Oh, this isn't even going to be anywhere close. So this bunker too, it's you brought up the front of it, which I don't think was really necessary. If we back up here a little bit, again, it's blocking the front of the bunker. So what I would do with this bunker here is I would bring down these front edges here. That way you can let the bunker just rest up against the green rather than sit in kind of what we call a bathtub, where it's just raised on every side and you can't really see the bunker at all, because that's not really a pot bunker. It's just a flat bunker that doesn't really add visual interest to the course. And when you already have a bunker there, you might as well have it add some visual interest in addition to serving as a hazard on the course as well. Come on. All right. All right, 4 under through 9 holes. Playability-wise, I don't think that there's anything like really incredibly difficult or complicated about it, which is a good thing. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, par 3, 10th hole. I like that. It's a little unconventional. All right, so what are we looking at here? Okay, I really enjoy this green site. I think the way that everything again falls from left to right, the green slopes make sense. Nothing's flowing into the bunkers; it's flowing away from it. You know, if anything, I'd say the bunkers, again, we could work on making them a little bit more visible, but I like what you've got going on here, especially with the water here. The only thing I'd say is maybe we could do a little bit more to massage this area of rough down, just to give us a little bit better view of the water, and then maybe we could plant along the backside of the water here to give it a little bit more visual interest. I think we've done a good job, you know, with the rocks and bushes and everything over here. They might be a little oversized, but work on kind of bringing all that around the sides of the water hazards and everything. Uh-oh. Okay. I think we'll be all right. All right. Let's see if we can make a hell of a putt for birdie here. Not quite, but I'll take my par. Moving on to 11. Same thing, can't see the bunkers off the tee. Right. You know, I think that's one of those things that is kind of... I think that's an important element of kind of shaping the looks of your tee shot. First thing I'm noticing, I really like the way this green site sits here, propped up, kind of a falling off on every side, but the green itself isn't necessarily falling off on every side. A little bit of red you know, sloping into bunkers. That'll come, again, with time, just moving those bunkers away from your playable surfaces. I like that you have the 2 tiers going on here, and I like that it's not like a full tier. I like that this isn't just like all red slope moving from right to left. It kind of creates like a little bit of a horseshoe, so it allows you to play into this and against that slope, and then kind of play up into this area here. So I like that. I like this green side a lot, actually. One thing hard again here, I can't see the bunkers really. The bunkers behind the green, that's a whole nother thing. That's, you know, you're never going to be able to see those. So if they're back there, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, uphill, 15 feet, not quite a headwind. This is a tough little pin to get at with these with this wind. Let's see if we can get somewhere close. Ooh, not bad. Bite hard. Bite hard. Okay, little rollout, but that's okay. Get in. Get in. Nice. That's a nice little hole. I think it's a good one. I like that one. Hole 12. Okay, so this one has a different problem when it comes to bunkers. I can't see them, but it's because of this slope in the fairway here. If you bring that down, it'll give me a line of sight to those bunkers back there, which don't sit that, you know, they don't have the problem of being raised in the front where you can't see them. You could actually see them if that part of the fairway wasn't blocking the view of them. I'm gonna take a shortcut here over these trees. And then what have we got here? Right, an interesting green site. I don't hate it. We've had a lot of these green sites that are just like propped up really high. So, you know, try not to be too repetitive with those types of things. But this one has a different shape to it. I can barely make out this bunker here in the front, but I'm glad that I can see it. You could maybe make the bunker a little bit more visible again by dropping down the front. I think with the surfacing here, we've got a little bit of awkward kind of transitions here between the fairway and the green, so I'd work on those a little bit. Maybe even bring this fairway up into the green here, and then again, back those surfaces. You know, you don't want the green draining right into the bunker, so back those surfaces up a little bit and give some rough there to kind of give you a surround around the bunker. And then again, it'll solve the issue like right here where you have this ridge that runs there. It's not an issue having the you know, the green slope on like that when there's a bunker there, but this part it's a little awkward to when you see it. All right, uphill again, massive headwind. I don't know why I decided to play this with eye winds on, but I'm hoping the wind just kills this. There we go. Okay, that'll work. Get another birdie here. Awesome. All right, lucky number 13. Okay, I like that I can see the bunkers off the tee there. And we've got a little bit of a what we've affectionately called an S template, where the fairway just creates an S going back and forth. You could probably bring in this little bit here, or even extend this bunker out here just to make it feel a little bit more like it belongs, but it's not a huge issue. I'm going to try to carry this bunker here. I like that I kind of have that option. It's not going to give me the best angle into the green, but because it's par 5, I'm going to assume, I mean, I could look at my yardage book here, but I'm going to assume that, yeah, the yardage isn't terrible from there, as opposed to playing from back here, where I'd have to hit more of a 5-wood. So yeah, I've got the wind on my side, so I'm going to go ahead and try to carry this. Which I don't have tempo on, so of course I'm going to be able to carry it. Ooh, stop ball. There we go. Okay, 360-yard drive. All right. Again, I can see the bunkers behind the green, so that's a nice little touch there. I like your planting coming down into the lake on different sides. I think that's something that's been kind of missing from this course, is that sporadic planting throughout. We had, I think it was the 10th hole that you played into, and you had some beautiful planting behind it, but there was only that planting. There wasn't planting anywhere else kind of in the background. So this is kind of a nice, I think, improvement to that. I'd be a little careful of these trees on the left. They look like they're encroaching a little bit on, you know, your angle into the green here. But I'm also not supposed to be really playing from this part of the fairway. The other thing is, too, again, I see these repetitive trees being in here, so try to mix it up a little bit, and have, you know, 2 to 3 trees, you know, 1 to 3 trees, let's say, clumped together, and no more than that before you start transitioning into other trees. And it can be the same kind of species, but this looks like it's the exact same tree, just rotated in different directions. I really like this green. This slope that comes down here, I like that it kind of flows into the green there. I like that everything in the front here slopes off. Again, I'd be careful about that flowing into the bunker. We've talked about that, but and then you've got this really subtle ridge here that allows you to, if you're playing a pin down on this far side here, it allows you to kind of play a little bit safer to the inside of the green here and bring a ball in that way. I think that's a nice little touch. Whether it was intentional or not, that's a nice little touch to have on the on that green site. I think I just hit. Did I just hit pitching wedge into a par 5? That's always fun. Come on. Oh, and of course I completely blow my eagle opportunity, but let's take our birdie and move on to 14. Not a bad little par 5 there. All right, what is going on over here? So this feels very unnatural, and retaining walls are hard to do, so I'd maybe avoid them until you know, you have a really good feel for them. The thing that helps hide retaining wall borders like this is planting. So, you know, maybe bushes and trees that come down here, you could do the retaining wall further back against this hill here, and then kind of plant along there. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of retaining walls because I think they're really a pain in the ass to work with. But looking at the green site here, the planting here is actually blocking it a little bit. So I'd maybe bring the planting down a little bit just to give you a little bit better look at the green, because this is actually kind of a neat green site. The other thing to be conscious of is shadows. It's okay to have shadows on your green, but when you have a big tree back here that's casting a shadow over something like a bunker, which you might want to have pop a little bit, it can be a little bit of an unintended consequence to cast a shadow there where you can't see it as well. But I like what we've got going on here with the green. A lot of interesting slopes happening here. I'd just be really careful about these that are running into the rough, but overall, this is a nasty little pin you've got here. Excuse me, that you've got here in the front behind this bunker, and then you've got to stop it before it goes off that green slope back there. And then we're hitting a 7-iron. I'm gonna have to hit 5-iron. We're gonna back it off a little bit. Hopefully we can carry that bunker in the front. Oof, I don't know if I played enough wind here. I definitely did not. That is unfortunate. Let's see if we can get back up. Oh. Oh, we chunked that one a little bit, didn't we? All right, let's see if we can make a par putt. No bogeys. Ah. All right, our first bogey, but that's okay. We can live with it. We had a terrible tee shot. All right. Neat little... I like the kind of shooting down the corridor here. Just be careful of repeating the same tree again over and over again as we go down. Otherwise, I love the tee shots through trees. I think they can be a lot of fun. And again, this is blind into a really hazard heavy area. So I'd be mindful of that too, as when you have a blind tee shot, again, having hazards like that all over the place, you don't know where you're hitting the ball. So that can be quite challenging. I like this green site though. I think you've got some interesting greens. I don't think there's really anything to complain about here other than just again the red slope sloping into bunkers, which we've talked about. So I think that this is a neat little one here. As far as the bunkers go, again, I keep talking about it, but I can't see the bunker here on the left-hand side. I think you've missed an opportunity to bring down the front of that and have it create some visual interest when you're standing back here, and maybe even giving us a little bit better view of the green. It feels like that this area right where my cursor is propped up a little bit, so it's blocking your view of the green. I'm gonna just do full backspin on this and see if we can stop it close. Oh, that was a horrible yank. But we might be able to work with it still. Turn left. There we go. We'll take a birdie. We'll take those all day long. All right, we've got a par 5 and a couple par 4s to wrap things up. We're at the 40-minute mark already, so I apologize for being a little long-winded here, but hopefully you got some good advice here. I like the way this bunker sits right here. Again, that's one of the first things I always notice is just if I can see the bunkers. The ones on the left here, again, from the tee, I don't know that they're there as a golfer, as I RP a little golf, but challenge this bunker on the right to give us a good angle. Yeah, a better angle into the green. Ooh, a lot of interesting slopes here on this green. I like this green site a lot, actually, and here's why. You have the water down here on the left-hand side, so if I have a pin that's in this back left-hand corner here, I don't want to have to attack it directly. It can be really, really hard to do that, but I can attack it directly. Lose these two trees. They're blocking the green. Also lower the fairway here just a little bit to give you a nice view of the green. But going back to this green site here, if I'm playing, I'm hitting a 3-wood into this green, I can hit a nice big draw into this green, and I can use these slopes here to bring a ball that might land up here all the way down into the bottom pin area, which I think is an awesome, really subtle touch. And this bunker makes you think twice about doing it, but you've created a nice little runway here where we can get a ball up in there to do it. I think that's just an awesome little green site there. I think you did a really good job with that. Just be mindful of the green flowing into the bunkers, but other than that, I think this is a pretty awesome little green site here, which I don't think I'm going to be able to hit because I'm hitting into a 16-mile-per-hour wind. Should we go for a driver? Let's just hit driver and see what happens. Might as well, right? Ooh, stop ball. Stop ball. But see the way that ball moved from right to left? If I had played that to the left-hand side of the green with a little bit of a draw, I could move that all the way down close to that pin down there, which again that's just really cool. It's one of those subtle things that I think makes a big difference when you're playing these courses. And for birdie, you love to see it. All right. I can't see that bunker off the tee, but let's enjoy this one a little bit. We're gonna play the shape of this bunker too. Is we haven't really seen anything that looks like this, so that shape just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's a little bit jarring to have there. So I would try to keep consistent bunker shapes throughout your course. You've kept them relatively small and kind of oval shaped for the most part, so I would kind of try to stick to that if that's the bunker styling you're going for. I like this green. The only thing I really don't care for is all this slope here running off into the rough, and which could also potentially be running off into the water. I think just kind of flattening that out a little bit can help, but again, the bunkers feel a little bit big on this hole compared to all the other bunkers we've seen so far. I'm going to try to bring a pitch in on the top of this slope and just run it down to the pin. Ooh, I pushed it a little bit. Pushed it a little bit. So we didn't catch the slope right where we wanted to. But that was the idea there. I like that slope. There we go. A birdie going into 18. Where are we at? 9 under? We got ourselves a little streak going. A little hot streak going. Okay. I would honestly lose these trees here in the front. They're just blocking your view of the fairway and the bunkers and everything down here. I don't think they need to be there. I also feel we talked a little bit about planting before, but I think you've got some nice planting down here. I would take this planting and copy what you did and move it all the way up here along the tree line here, because it feels a little plain. And I noticed that a little bit throughout the course, but for the most part, you've got some pretty decent planting going on here. So good job. Good job with that. Let's see, what angle? So same thing, I have a feeling too, these trees here are going to be blocking our shot coming into 18 from the fairway here. I'm going to try to hit as far out to the right here as I possibly can, but I have a feeling it's going to be tough to do without going in the bunker. Oh, crap. Okay. So yeah, we're blocking the green with these trees. I don't think they need to be there. This bunker's kind of interesting back here. I like I like the way it sits back there. If I was on the fairway here though, I don't know that I'd be able to see it. I don't know if I'd be able to see the green at all, to be honest. And then again, we've got some red slopes, flowing into bunkers. We've talked about that, so just be mindful of that. A 30 feet downhill, pitching wedge. Other than that, the slopes on this green, again, I think are really interesting. I'm thinking about, should I play up here and let it flow down into the pin back here, or should I even try to play like a lower running shot and land it somewhere up here and run it all the way down if I can. You've definitely got me thinking with a lot of these. Let's see what we can do. Gap wedge. Let's try this. We're going to try to hit a low gap wedge just for fun. See what, oh, I'm playing out of the sand. I forgot about that. Let's do a 9-iron? Question mark? Yeah, we'll do that. Might not be enough, but try to get it. Oh, it's not even close to enough. Okay, well, what a shot. Well, it looked great on paper. Let me tell you. All right, I can never judge how much a flop is gonna go with the wind there. Before we putt this, same thing here. The tournament objects kind of came out of nowhere on this hole. So I would try to do, maybe some more tournament objects throughout the course, just because it felt like we were just kind of playing by ourselves out here, and then all of a sudden there's a huge gallery watching us. So just for consistency's sake. I do think that the rock work here looks a lot more natural. It doesn't fit with the other rock work that we've seen though, where it was just kind of copy pasted. This feels a little bit more natural out here. I think some things that could help out here a little bit is maybe just some bushes and whatnot to kind of go within the rocks to give it a little bit more of a natural look. But overall, I think you've done a really solid job on this course, and we're going to finish with a bogey. But if this is your first course, or at least your first attempt to get into the database, I think it's a solid effort. I think you got a lot of good things going on. One of my favorite things was the greens. I think you had a lot of really interesting green slopes and a lot of slopes that helped you play into certain pin positions. So always be thinking about that. My biggest piece of advice is just make sure you can see those bunkers off the tee. And make sure that we're moving the bunkers just a little bit away from the surfaces so they're not really cutting into the fairways or to the greens or anything like that. And so your greens aren't, flowing into them or anything like that. So overall, though, really solid job. I really look forward to, what courses you have in the future, and I hope you keep at it. So good luck to you. Thanks.